Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to present to you the Field Study 1 Learning Episode 3 with the quote of the day Wonder is the beginning of wisdom by Socrates. Based on my observation on Eastern Visayas State University Laboratory Secondary Department, Grade 7 Purity, with teacher Aladeth Esther H. Hervasio, students are diverse when it comes to interest, strengths, age, gender, religion, and etc. Interest surfing in the internet, playing, listening to music, reading, watching, and many more. Strengths analytical thinking, creative, well developed basic skills, technologically literate, and many more. Age bracket 12 to 13 years old. Gender, so the total population of grade 7 purity, male 26, female 29. Religion, Roman Catholic and Iglesia ni Cristo. Diversity in and out of the classroom will continue to grow. So it's essential we prepare students to adapt to an evolving world and embrace those different from themselves. When working and learning with people from a variety of backgrounds and cultures present in the classroom, students gain a more comprehensive understanding of the subject matter. It also teaches students how to use their own strengths and point of view to contribute in a diverse working environment. It was fun and there is no dull moment even though we are in the virtual classroom. Some students are very interactive, joyful, and articulate during the discussion that makes the process of teaching and learning more meaningful and fun. Due to poor internet connectivity, some students cannot open their cameras and audio, but they can still interact with Dr. Hervasio by using the comment box, and with that, I can still feel their presence during the class. I believe that interactive teaching plays an important role in the life of students with different abilities. As the interactive teaching culture is introduced and followed in classrooms, it helps students enjoy various learning styles, and this gives the chance to help match the individual requirement of each student. Students in the laboratory department, when it comes to their relationship to each other, is great because despite of differences of gender and interest, they know how to respect and deal with different backgrounds, linguistics, and socioeconomic status of their classmates. I am so happy knowing that they are helping their classmates who cannot join the online class to uplift and for his or her not left behind. Meaning, the grade 7 purity has respect, pakikisama, and helping each other. Additionally, during interactive teaching sessions, teacher Hervasio asks the students to solve a problem in groups. This further makes the process more fun, filled with diverse students. When students get to complete a work along with their friends or classmates, it also helps make their band stronger. Since the ABSU adopted blended learning during asynchronous class, teacher Hervasio provides individual and group activity that will cater the interest and diversity in the classroom. According to the Elementary and Secondary Education Act or ESEA, meeting the needs of diverse learners is a responsibility, not a bonus. Many teachers have committed to making sure that all students received an equal and adequate education. Teacher Hervasio uses the following strategy to address the needs of diverse students. First is engage. It can be challenging to keep students engaged and actively involved, especially in virtual classroom. This is especially true for students who struggle with learning speaking English as a secondary language or have trouble focusing, especially that internet connectivity are sometimes poor. So those are the factors. And I think there are solutions if there are problems, like incorporate active learning strategies or group learning. Examples: case based learning, group discussions and talk and turns, 1-minute papers and one sentence summaries, demonstrations, or performance assessment. This is one of the example of teacher Hervasio strategy to address the diverse learners. Second is the group by learning, not ability. In my experience, grouping with ability is counterproductive. It can make things a little easier at the teacher table, but research is clear that in general, it keeps struggling students where they are and does little to boost students of intermediate aptitude to higher levels. Using mixed ability, groups can promote learning, especially when students get the opportunity to coach or teach their peers. An extension of this is to place students with learning in similar ways together, such as virtual to learners, virtual to virtual learners, auditory with auditory, kinesthetic to kinesthetic, and etc. Doing so can make a huge difference during small group or interactions. So next is promoting project-based learning. John Dewey initially promoted the idea of learning by doing. Educational research has advanced this idea of teaching and learning into a methodology known as project based learning. The core idea of captures students' interest and provokes serious thinking as the students acquire and apply new knowledge in a problem solving context considering diversity inside of the classroom. The teacher plays the role of facilitator, working with students to frame a worthwhile questions, structuring meaningful tasks, coaching both knowledge, development, and social skills, and carefully assessing what students have learned from the experience. And the last is collaborative learning. Collaborative learning can occur peer to peer or in larger groups. Peer learning or peer instruction is a type of collaborative learning that involves students working on peers or small groups to discuss concepts or find solutions to problems. Similar to the idea that two or three heads are better than one, educational researchers have found that through peer instruction, students teach each other by addressing misunderstandings and clarifying misconceptions. And with that, teacher Hervasio addresses also the diverse learners because they collaborate, brainstorming their ideas, and accept differences. Research shows that educational experiences that are active, social, contextual, engaging, and student owned lead to deeper learning. The benefits of collaborative learning includes development of higher level thinking, oral communication, self-management and leadership skills, promotion of student faculty interaction, exposure to and an increase in understanding of diverse perspectives, and preparation for real life social and employment situations. With that, they create roles inside of the classroom, enhance their behavior, knowing what is fact or not, knowing what is right or not. With that, collaborative learning is imperative for both teacher and learners. Next is the key roles in the relationship and interaction in the virtual classroom. For Dr. Hervasio is the online teacher must serve like a great party host. She served as a facilitating instruction or a facilitator, using discussion starters to facilitate conversations among students and taking the time to get to know students and referencing that knowledge in interactions with them. The grade 7 purity students communicate with the instruction and fellow students in a polite manner. They monitor and ask questions about their activities or modules to clarify something if there are some items in the modules or asynchronous not really specific or they don't really understand. So they monitor and ask Ma'am Hervasho. Based on my observation, there are students who has roles such as Eugene, the leader and the one who always open up the concern of her classmates. I see to her the leadership, the potential of being a better or a great leader. While Mary Faith is the joker of them all, she always make the atmosphere or mood lighter or bright. There is no dull moment or boring part when Mary Faith is there taking part her role. Next is Althea. Althea is the little teacher in the class. She's articulate and bright. She always um asks questions to Dr. Hervasio and answer the question of Dr. Hervasio. And also during asynchronous, she asks questions to Dr. Hervasio to comprehend more and help her classmates to understand also the concepts or the topic in the module. These roles assumed by the students because with the advent of more and more student-centered learning approaches and other new methods to increase active involvement of learners in their own learning process, the traditional roles and responsibilities of both teacher and learning have changed in several ways. When John Dewey progressive education led to some classrooms allowing total student freedom, Dewey himself cautioned the teacher was still ultimately responsible to ensure learning took place. He saw the teacher's role as that of coach and facilitator who still maintained the ultimate responsibility for ensuring an effective educational environment. The teacher influences the class interaction considering the individual differences of the students by providing first positive learning environment, encouraging students to interact positively, fair judgments and opportunities given by the teacher, good counseling and monitoring. This influences the behavior of the students. It reminds ourselves why diversity and cultural awareness is so crucial in the classroom and the benefits it can have on students now and in long term. Teaching diversity exposes students to various cultural and social groups, preparing students to become better citizens in their communities and in the institution. These culturally responsive teaching strategies will help the learners, the teacher, and other individuals within the institution to promote diversity in the classroom. So, the next is the maximizing benefits of diversity in the classroom. First is get to know your students. Demonstrating a genuine interest in learning about each student and their culture will help establish trust and allow you to form a bond with them so they feel valued. Second, maintain consistent communication. Aside from getting to know your students, teachers should also continue to maintain ongoing communication throughout the quarter or semester or school year. Meeting with students to check in every so often will allow the teacher to maximize the benefits of diversity. Will also um students can talk about whether they felt included in the classroom or not. With that, you are doing monitoring, counseling that will help the learners and you also as a teacher to know what are the effective ways to do in order to maximize the benefits of diversity, even though you are in the virtual classroom. Next is the acknowledge and respect of every student. It's also important for students to celebrate and respect their own diverse backgrounds, as well as each teachers or students. When appropriate, teachers should encourage students to research and learn about their own ethnic and cultural backgrounds. This allows them to better understand their own culture as well as the differences and noises with their peers. And of course, The fourth way to maximize the benefits of diversity in the classroom or in virtual classroom is to give students freedom and flexibility. Teachers often feel like they need to take on a strict, authoritative approach when it comes to managing their classroom. The most valuable lessons are often learned through a student's own experience. So, giving them some freedom in the course encourages more connection in the curriculum. That's why a student centered approach is more effective than a possessive or than a traditional approach. So these are the ways or the strategies in order to maximize the benefits of a diverse or in a diversity classroom. Providing the needs of diverse students, they will learn about different things in life. During their education, feel more comfortable and safe with these differences. Later in life, this allows them to interact in a wider range of social groups and feel more confident in themselves as well as in their interactions with others. Thank you for listening. I am Judal Saulaya, your presenter and your fourth year student. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice afternoon.